Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and we are so very close to the massive day for Casper, 5th of May. We are just a little over 5 days away now until we see the 10 BPS activation onto the mainnet, and it's going to be a big day for Casper, no doubt. Once more reiterating, I'm not expecting the price to explode. It's not an event catalyst for price momentum. It's more so a foundation that's being laid for capital to start building much more on top of it, have the speed and security to compete with everything else and surpass everything else in this space. But things are looking up. There's still many other developments, applications, you name it, infrastructure that are being built on Casper right now, some that we don't even know about. And in today's stream, we're going to be covering some of the very good and bullish macro news that's come out, but also some of the very impressive things coming to Casper, which seemingly also some sources suggest that we are getting some early signs, in a sense, of stablecoins of USDC Circle coming on Casper. Now, I'll be delving into this a little bit more so. Ultimately, the truth of the matter being is stablecoins are close, whether it be Circle itself. We'll have to wait and see, but stablecoins are very close now because the Casplex team have just released something on GitHub that showcases what's happening very soon. So as always, if you enjoy these daily live streams, feel free to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Mr. Miles, my brother, welcome back first. Indeed, welcome back. Hope you're doing very well. And yes, as always, free him up. Still apparently trapped in my basement. Welcome back, Buffalo 3, bro. You're doing very well. And you too, LB, damn, third. Either way, you're still here early on. Love to see it, brother. Welcome back, and you too, Greg, again. Holy hell, Mr. Moss actually is first. You know what I mean? He got out early today. He must have gone on a little bit of a run, and I just had to go catch him again to run my live stream. But yeah, welcome back everybody again to the channel. Hopefully you're all having a very good day, good week so far, and are prepared for what is to come on Monday. The big day being Monday. So as we can see here from Casper Guru here, this is 1 day outdated. So we are now sitting at around 5 days and 20 hours, give or take, 19 hours until we see the crescendo hard fork. We are in the end game, and as we've just going back through looking some old posts here, Michael Sun obviously made a post and announcement about the crescendo activation date, when it's coming. CM Kid highlighted here. Casper 10 BPS live on the mainnet roughly 5th of May. 10 BPS on a proof of work chain is truly solved the trilemma and is another world record breaker for Casper. It is really the best settlement layer, not just in crypto, but on the planet. So closed now, and with base rollups on the horizon, we've got a DeFi coming to Casper with possible MEV resistance in the future, which is truly exciting, something that people don't take into account, how important MEV resistance is as well, that Casper also has. And of course the KRI adding their own little bit of spice on that as well, saying also don't forget that Casper KRI, they are ISO 20022 compliance ready as well, meaning they can get involved in the cross-border payment space with banks as well. Gigawatt stablecoin is a big part of that. So this is, again, all the stuff's going to come to Casper very soon. How soon? Again, time will tell, but it will start taking off this cycle. We'll see all these applications coming to Casper, and that will help rally demand and likely rally price as well. There are infinite opportunities that follow Casper after 10 BPS, and that's not just talking about use cases, also talking about more developments after that as well, like Dagnite, the smart contract that can be actually utilized on 10 BPS, and so much more. We are truly blessed, and in that regard, we've got some updates on what is to come, what we have to look out for. Crypto Aspect, who is working on Project Sparkle for Casper right now, other smart contract and elements. Highlights here, the Casper NG version 1.0.1, which is the Casper desktop node, has now been released. The matching web version is being updated on CasperNG.org. The desktop release of Casper NG now integrates the crescendo hard fork node, which of course we've just seen, or as I just made a post about, even we can see now, is at 97.34%, almost 100% now. Which has to be 100% of course before everyone switch over, otherwise these old nodes become obsolete, but we are so close now. Everyone's switching over. This is very good news. And to give a bit more of an update as well, we can see here, please note that after the crescendo hard fork, the legacy KDX software will no longer be compatible with the Kaspa network and should no longer be used. Kaspa NG, which is KNG, has been developed to replace KDX and supports both core wallet standards and the legacy Kaspa.net web wallet. So just make sure if you are using the KDX software that you do switch over to KNG before the hard fork, because it will become obsolete. Message from the future: the world currency now runs on Kaspa. Honestly, I would love to see that, and we can sit back and just chill and laugh if that becomes a fruition for us. If we see Kaspa become the world reserve currency, while we're here, Kaspa at only 9 cents right now. Kaspa is currently down 4.81% on the daily time frame, which is still in accordance to what we were talking about the past few days. Now currently valued at 9.1 cents. Remember, when we're talking about Kaspa, in accordance to other elements of TA like fib retracement here, take it from the bottom, wick down here, the top here. We are expecting Kaspa to see a reversal either at the 8.76 or at the 8 cent zone. The higher it reverses, the better for Kaspa to see more bullish momentum quicker and a higher pump from their point onwards as well. But otherwise, then it's likely we'll see Kaspa come back down to this zone down here around 8.18 cents before we see any significant reversal on Kaspa. This is expected, kind of FOMO pumping for 10 bps. A pullback, we may see it come back again, but I'm optimistic still that with what's coming out very soon after that, we'll see Kaspa start to make this rally back up, and you'll see also the tier ones preparing to list Kaspa as well. And that also comes into this post here. We post from Captain Sats here from Doodoo, highlighting it's probably nothing. Small hint of first stables on Kaspa. Circle USDC is a maybe. Nothing's been confirmed, of course, but we'll get into why they're stating this as well right now. We can see in this post here, probably nothing. You've got the USDC Circle, the world's largest regulated stablecoin powering global finance. And then you've got this post here, which is the new GitHub post for the Kasplex KRC20. Kasplex recently just announced, in addition to the updates mentioned below, which the updates are resulting around the adapted to 10 bps and improved data synchronization performance, introducing fixed blocks execution batches to prepare for upcoming built-in virtual machines, and also 4 new opcodes which are for smart contracts. They have to be upgraded before the Crescendo hard fork has been done in the next 3 to 4 days or so. Talking about this stuff here, the Kasplex KRC20, ultimately what this is here as well. So if we load up the GitHub here, we can see exactly what it is talking about. The basic operation here. In basic operation, we provide functions for token deployment, management, transfer, and marketplace. This is effectively what stablecoins need. Common support to deploy, burn, channel list, transfer list, and send. Deploy is mint, and then issue, and blacklist is for in deploy issue mode. So if we go and look at stuff like issue, for example, we can see again sort of the coding element that's needed for it, so to speak. But this is ultimately just proof once more how close we are to seeing seeing stablecoins on Kaspa, because again these nodes have got to be upgraded by the Crescendo hard fork, so in the next 3, 4, 5 days time. And we do know, as we have seen, and I have information about that in my free Discord server, about the fact that Johnny has been talking to USDT Circle, USDC Circle, USDT Tether, USDC Circle, and other stablecoin issuers about bridging on Kaspa. In fact, I'll load that post up right now while we are talking about it. But yeah, ultimately there's still a lot more coming. How far back? I've got to think about how far back I've got to go to find this. If I type in stablecoin, maybe that'll come up. But this is the sort of things we are waiting to see. And actually, while I'm going on trying to find the source here as well, we've got this post here as well that I put in my community yesterday as well, which comes from the global head of policy at Plaid, who dropped a bombshell that stated once the stablecoin framework is in place, traditional financial institutions are going to start seeing a pathway to use stablecoins in back offices, balance sheets, bank-to-bank transfers, and as a replacement or alternative to the SWIFT system. Again, this is really, really important news. Very important indeed. And highlights once more the importance of stablecoins, why they are so influential, why there's such a high demand for stablecoins. That's why the market cap for stablecoins is predicted to be almost 3 trillion by 2029, 2030. Of course, again, that prediction can change over the years, but there's a massive expected growth in stablecoin adoption coming to us very, very soon, because they're going to replace the incumbent SWIFT system. And that's something that Kaspa is also going to see coming very, very soon, with these applications for the Kasplex team at least. We'll see native stablecoins and native smart contracts coming out later on this cycle, but you'll see early elements of that coming out beforehand as well. So we've got this one post here from Johnny, which confirms that he's been talking to USDT. The question really right now is whether it's going to be a bridge USDT on Kaspa or USDT native to Kaspa. I think right now he said it's going to be more likely just a bridged one, not a native one. But I'm pretty sure I saw the other post here as well, where Johnny confirmed he'd been talking to other stablecoin issuers like USDC Circle since 2024 December. Whereabouts is it? Is it this one here? Can he find it? I will find it in a quick moment. I mean, Oysen also mentioned this as well, which is kind of in correlation to that as well. Talking about how we will soon see stablecoin payment adoption via Kaspa on CoinPal once USDT/USDC is issued on Kaspa. So even Oysen Lee, who is part of the KEF, part of that team effectively, he's also confirming here that we will see these stablecoins on Kaspa. And of course, these new opcodes is proof that we are not far off at all. Should have really preloaded this post from Johnny. I'll keep trying to find it while I answer some questions in the meantime. 45 cents top this cycle. Next cycle will be $1.20 after we can grab at 75 cents in 2028. I mean, that's quite a conservative prediction in my belief, but I think it's a possibility. I still think that there's a massive bearish sentiment or over conservative sentiment on Kaspa right now. That's my personal belief. Again, by all means, everyone's welcome to do their own predictions. That's the whole premise of why we're here. I'm not telling you, think how I'm thinking. That's not what I do here. What I do here is give you information and let you devise your own investment strategy, your own price predictions. If your prediction is that, then yeah, I mean, as long as you stay true to your gut. Me personally, I'm a bit more optimistic than that. I think it can go a little bit higher. And that's based on, again, what we've seen in previous cycles, what Kaspa's building this cycle, and the sort of adoption we're seeing with institutions this cycle as well. I made a video yesterday, where in the video yesterday, it covered how Bitwise, one of the smart money individuals, they're literally conversating and talking about how the 4-year Bitcoin cycle is coming to an end. Again, you haven't got to trust them. That's not the point. But the point that we are trying to highlight here is that with the 4-year cycle being typically you see a bull to bear every single time, that may not be the same reoccurring factor this time around, because institutions are buying more and more and more Bitcoin and crypto. They want to send it higher. So with that in mind, why would they want to send it higher and then see it come down 80%? There's a very good possibility we don't see it go down that badly. And I feel like I've missed this Johnny post now. But anyways, again to the next question real quick. Upward have halted trading on Kaspa. I think they're having issues. What is everyone Kaspa average? That's the first I've heard of that, truth be told, although that is crazy. I mean, if you look at Kaspa right now, the Kaspa's volume is down to 78.41 million, so it's not that high. I'd imagine if they've halted trading, it's maybe because they are trying to make the transition. They're trying to make the transition themselves to the new RK version. That might be what's happening as well. So that's my speculation of why. But I'm sure you'll see them, go with it again. Because Uphold are quite a big supporter of Kaspa. I know the head of research, Dr. Martin Heifberg, has been preaching for a while that Bitcoin was the Kaspa testnet. He's very, very bullish on Kaspa and what it's trying to build, and he should be. Kaspa is trying to change this space for the better and do something that's never been done before. I've most definitely missed this post, haven't I? I think I've gone too far back in my in my community. Yeah, I need to go a little bit closer. Okay, well, 6.9 cents. I mean, Kaspa coming back to 6.9 cents. If we're looking at the market right now, 6.9 cents puts it around the bottom of this level of support here, which definitely is a possibility. Again, if we're drawing out fib retracement, it does highlight that that would come below this zone, at least the golden pocket zone here. It's still a possibility. I'm not discrediting that. I am still a bit more, I guess, optimistic. I think what it does depend on, right? 10 BPS coming out very, very soon, of course, is what we're looking out for. But I think it also depends on how quickly we see some form of adoption coming out, how quickly we see it, whether we see it coming out, with these stable coins and smart contracts coming out, mere weeks afterwards, or even mere days afterwards. If it takes a little bit longer, that might end up causing some more backlash, which of course could cause capital to go back further as well. And people are claiming once again that there's manipulation from the likes of Mexi happening again, which, I mean, I'm I'm not discrediting the possibility that it's happening, but for me, I don't see the need, or I don't bother complaining about it anymore, because, you know, we can complain all we want about Mexi doing it. They're not going to stop, or any exchange for that matter. They've got the money to do so. They can do as they want. So it's really, really, for me, it's kind of almost a waste of energy complaining about it, because they're not going to stop doing it. Smart money do what they want to do, right? But I mean, actually, you're talking about your average. Okay, I thought you were talking about the price the cap is going to go to. I mean, 6.9 average is actually very, very impressive as well. So yeah, that is insane. In fact, I have members who are in my VIP group who got their average down quite drastically from like 14 to like 8 cents through the, you know, sources that we provide in there as well, and the trading information. So, you know, it's been fantastic getting your average down right now when the price will be down as well. So, you know, props to you, Nade Hart, brother. You're doing very, very well. Even 13.5 is not bad either, you know, considering that, again, I think I can go a lot higher from here. 13.5 is still a very good average. Very good average indeed. Well, 5.7 cents is absolutely insane. That is absolutely nuts. Yeah, you win that battle then, brother. Well done, man. I want to say that, I mean, my average is also relatively high. I think it's somewhat close to yours, Nick. I mean, again, it's not that, but everyone's got different financial situations at the end of the day, remember. You know, some people have more money, some people have less money. Therefore, they can have a bit more freedom to lower the average, or, you know, to play around with the markets. So everyone's in different situations, so you don't take that to heart if you think you've got a high average. Again, everyone's got different situations, you've got to take that into account. Okay, well, I've got this post here, which of course we're talking about USDC Tether. I'm trying to find the one that was talking about USDC Circle. If I just type in USDC, should it'll come up? I don't know why I didn't type that in the first place. Sure, that'll come up. Sorry, I'm losing a lot of my head here. And you've got 600,000 bag as well. That is a very, very healthy bag for Kaspa as well. So yeah, absolutely insane stuff, brother. Insane stuff indeed. It's a little depressing to see a nice pump, then we bleed out to a lower top. Well, it means I can buy more. Completely right. Again, as much as it does seem a little bit disheartening to see, you know, such a nice rally upwards, you know, going up, you know, 2x in value in April. And now we're seeing, coming to the end of April right now, you know, we're still going down a bit. We're still up from the bottom of April where we were down here. We're seeing it come back a little bit. This is expected though. Again, we can't always expect just to go up to Valhalla, you know. Can't just expect this all the time. It's going to be ups and downs, right? The seesaw, that's how crypto markets act. And I think Kaspa right now is hopefully in a position to start making that reverse upwards, which means we can start sitting back and relaxing soon and just letting our bags just keep building more and more. Where's this? I'm still trying to find the USDC confirmation post, which is really frustrating me. I don't know why I can't find it. I've definitely missed it. I know I actually covered it in a previous stream of mine as well, so I know it's there. I fully know it's there. It's somewhere in my community. I'll try and find it throughout the stream, I promise, but it's again just going into coinciding with the post here about how Casplex are adding 4 new opcodes that are confirmation that they're bringing stablecoins onto Kaspa now. These are the opcodes necessary for stablecoins, and there's a good chance therefore you're going to see Tether most definitely, as they've been closely conversing with Tether. And Johnny did confirm as well, which I can't find the post and source for it, but I know it's there because I've seen it and I've covered it previously as well, that he's been speaking to the likes of Circle and Tether, as well as other stablecoin issuers since December 2024 about bridging on Kaspa. So they are there, and that's therefore a good possibility you'll see Tether. Tether for me is the biggest one, of course, but there is there's some uncertainty around Tether due to their regulatory compliance. So while Tether's the biggest one, and of course Tether's what I would happily have on Kaspa as a first starter, Circle would arguably be bigger because they have more regulatory foundation and compliance. So it would be a bigger sign of trust. Tether would be a bigger sign of adoption, at least initially, but USDC would be a bigger sign of trust that will come to Kaspa. So both would be fantastic, and I think we'll see both coming to Kaspa again very soon. Once I find this post, I promise you, I'll say it and I'll prove it. But until then, you're just going to have to take my word for it that I've showcased it, because I have. I'm not considering to sell until my kids become adults in 13 years. Hopefully the capital ecosystem is matured and sustainable by then. In 13 years, this space will be unrecognizable. I can say that much. I can say that much with confidence. This space will be unrecognizable in the next 13 years. Like, it was going to be, and in fact, there's going to be a video that I'm posting later today that's going to be delving into some very in-depth insight on what this space is going to be looking like going forward as well. And ultimately, again, what's going to come to Kaspa as well, is why I remain bullish on this project despite the ups and downs, despite what's coming. I do have utmost conviction in this space, where it's going, where it's going to build, and where Kaspa's going to go as well. So I'm not worried. And this cycle equally. I'm glad I'm here in this cycle to be a part of this great wealth transfer, so to speak. What's up, Go-To Bot? You're doing very, very well and having a great day so far. I'll buy Mild Freedom out of Jay's basement if Kaspa goes over $1 this cycle. Oh, you'll buy Mr. Miles Freedom. Well, I mean, go for it. I don't know why everyone's still thinking in my basement. The thing is, if I get new people in this community, they can actually think I have someone in my basement. That's the crazy part. They can't tell that people are just joking. What's up, Art Zero Man? Hope you're doing very, very well. I was a Kaspa bull at 1 cent. Now I think we can barely get to 50 cents. Miners keep dumping and whales keep dumping their price until the next bear market. Sad to say Kaspa already had its big run. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. We are not even in May yet. We are seeing the addresses rally up higher and higher. We are seeing these wallets, big wallets, stacking up more and more. You know, we've got still 217 whales. We've still got 2,807 sharks. We are not like we are so early to call the end of the cycle. So early, we're not even in May yet. We haven't seen Bitcoin even make a rally up yet. Bitcoin's at 95k. Bitcoin's not made an all-time high yet. We can't be calling the end of the cycle for Kaspa when Bitcoin's not even made an all-time high yet. We're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. Bitcoin dominance at 64%. Kaspa's down, you know, from all-time highs right now. Kaspa is down 55%. I understand the worries of it when it's down to the 5 cents. We're down 75%. We're down 55% all-time highs. Look at other projects. Sui's done fantastically recently. You know, after all of its FOMO and whatnot, down 33% right now. C, another massive layer 1 project from its recent all-time high, that's down 70%. Tao's had a very nice run up recently as well, following quite close to Kaspa as well. That's down 50%. Like, things are still down massively. We're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. We can't call the end of the cycle just yet, or Kaspa cycle at least. Again, remember, go and look, if you're lacking conviction, research what Kaspa's doing. Check out the VIP when you learn more as well, and look at all these other projects in the cycle and or in their last cycles. Solana, as I highlighted loads of times in the past, Solana did nothing until August. It had a nice pump, peaked up in April, and then did nothing until August. You could argue Kaspa's doing something similar this time. It peaked just earlier, you know, at a measly 11 cents, and then does nothing for the next 4 months. People get really, really bearish, and then it goes on an explosive rally. We went from 7 billion to 80 billion, over a 10x. Look at Cardano in its first cycle. Or the first cycle here, this last cycle, before the smart contracts. Smart contracts on Cardano came out at its very, very peak. Or just after its very peak. And this one went down. It started running throughout the whole year, but it went from 5 billion up to 100 billion almost. And then look at AVAX, which people compare price-wise most closely to Kaspa. AVAX, similarly to Solana, had a nice pump, peaked around the April time to peak at April, and then did nothing, came down massively, hovering around 2 billion market cap until August. 2 billion to 30 billion market cap. From August to November time. In 3 months. So that's 3 different projects that showcase to you proof that it takes some time, but when the price rallies, it can be explosive. So why are we now? What's the reasoning behind people now saying that Kaspa can only reach, you know, 25, 30 cents, 50 cents? While again, it's still possible. I'm not trying to drive too much FOMO. Again, do your own research, trade your discretion, be realistic. Being conservative is fine, but then there's a very fine line between being conservative and being overly bearish. And for me, I think Kaspa bearish sentiment is getting it by the balls right now because we've been down for so long. But Kaspa's building its big applications in just 4 days' time. You're seeing many other applications the Kasplex team are building coming out at the same time. You'll see stablecoins coming out very soon as well. You'll see smart contract applications coming out on very, very soon. You know Casplex are soon releasing their layer 2 testnet, public testnet. So you'll see early stage applications. The KRI is one big element we should not be sleeping on, and they're going to be able to release a lot more of their institutionalized project with Casper in this cycle. You're seeing the net ETF inflows are 11 times over new supply issuance, which is a new record for Bitcoin. You're seeing adoption flowing up higher and higher and higher. You're seeing Arizona and other states who are passing the bill to allow to pass a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So this therefore is going to get even more scarce, and Bitcoin's going to go up higher as well. The United Kingdom now going to collaborate with the United States to boost adoption of crypto. You're seeing the adoption rally up so much higher. Now where crypto goes from here, we still don't know for sure. You know, it's still a tough analogy or tough prediction to make. No one really knows because none of us have institutionalized capital. We don't control these markets. We just follow along. We're fish swimming along with the whales. But there's by no means in my mind that I could, right now at least, I don't call Casper, you know, I think Casper can surpass that. So I'm not going to, again, not giving 5 predictions, but I think there's a bearish storm that has caught Casper holders right now. And people are either disregarding or, in my belief, unaware of what actually Casper's building and what is coming to the space. I highlighted in my video yesterday as well that Caspador had highlighted that they are literally conversing with other blockchains to bridge on Copper Casper and bridge Casper Layer 2 to their blockchains as well. So it's going to help with early adoption and ecosystem expansion as well. Now again, if Casper only reaches 50 cents, so be it. I have no clue. My prediction is a little bit more bullish than that, or more optimistic, should I say. 50 cents is not bad either way. You know, that would be a nice 5x from here, but a 5x from here, it sounds very underwhelming to me. When you consider other projects in this space have a very strong chance to 5-10x with higher market caps. While they have advantage of VC backing, institutional adoption early on, ETFs and whatnot, Casper's going to get this sort of stuff coming through as well. Let me see if I can find this post eventually about USDC. I don't know why I can't find it. It's actually really doing my nut in. Normally easier to find this information, but I'm struggling to find it right now. But I mean, yeah, again, I'm not by any means trying to tell you what to believe, Art0. Again, everyone has their own beliefs. Do your own research. If your research tells you we're only reaching 50 cents, then, you know, I respect your information. For me, my information and my stature on crypto, for where I see the cycle going to be going, and the information that I provide to my VIPs in the community here, has us a lot more optimistic than that. A lot more optimistic, purely because the research we've done has showcased us the level of adoption we are seeing with crypto. A video I published yesterday in my community as well, for the free community actually as well, as well as the paid one, was also covering, was actually, you know what, I'll showcase it right now, the video. I'll check it so if you want to find out more, you can check out the free community in the description, also homepage here as well, and the VIP group as well to get even more locked in. But in the free community, I posted a video yesterday from Ernst & Young, one of the big 4 accounting firms. Their crypto tax leader has stated here that they are extremely excited to get involved in crypto, that altcoins are coming up next, and of course, many more benefits as well. So listen very close to this while I try and find this USDC post quickly.
I'm curious, with the repeal of SOB 121 and this favorable environment, are you seeing demand from banks? And I'm talking the big banks.
Yes. Yeah. That was a major barrier for a lot of the banks. And so we are, you know, actively involved in discussions with a lot of the, you know, the major GSIPs. They are wanting to offer various types of products to their customer base. And I think to start, right, a lot of it's going to be basic custodying, basic buys and sells, right? You're seeing ETFs. You might see, you know, a lot of those ETFs were kind of focused just on Bitcoin or just on Ethereum. I think you probably might start seeing some more kind of diversified multi-coin type of operations. But yeah, the banks are excited, and because they are again, it's kind of this general sentiment. I think we're hearing a lot of whispers around this capital gains exemption altogether for made in America coins. All I've heard is whispers on that. Right. Nothing substantive. So don't quote me. But I think there's some enthusiasm around that potentially being in this bill as well. And if that happens, I mean, you're gonna see a huge ramp up, right? And so it's I think the banks and the digital everybody's kind of preparing for this.
So there, I mean, again, just to reiterate, you don't want to always take what they're saying at face value. Everybody has their own personal interests, their own desires. They're not going to be 100% honest with you. But the commonality we're seeing with all the smart money is they are extremely excited. The big banks, they are extremely excited to start adopting crypto technology. And in fact, I did now finally be able to find that post here, which is proof here that that Johnny is in contact with USDC Circle, USDT Tether, Global Dollar, FD Labs HQ since December 2024, all discussing the possibilities of launching stablecoins on KRC20 on the layer 2s since December. So again, this coincides to the post here about how we're going to potentially be seeing stablecoins like USDC on capital very soon thanks to the new opcodes. So price predictions aside, again, everyone, you make your own predictions, your own beliefs. I'm not here to spread FOMO about price. I'm here to spread FOMO about the project of Kaspa and my belief on why it's going to do well, even in the cycle. 50 cents is not bad, of course, but I still think that's quite underwhelming considering what's actually coming to Kaspa. Their early adoption comes out with 10 BPS. You're going to see smart contract elements and stablecoin elements coming out at the same time as 10 BPS. You'll see actual layer 2 up and running, I'd imagine by the end of May, maybe going into June, and likely stablecoins coming around a similar time as well. That's similar to what we've heard from the KF and Casplex as well. You'll see Labs launching their testnets and stuff coming out after that as well. You'll see going into Q3, the ZK virtual machines, the actual native smart contract architecture coming online with Kaspa, or Q3, worst case Q4. Project Spark will come out as well. You'll see potentially DAG Night come out. The FOMO that will come for the market when Bitcoin starts to rally, the market starts to rally, and then when altcoin dominance takes off, then have all of these tier 1 listings that are still fading Kaspa right now that will likely use that momentum to list the project and send its price higher as well. Kaspa is at a $2.38 billion market cap. When you've got such a small market cap, you are very easily influenced. When you're a bigger asset, listings and those sort of stuff don't matter as much. When you are such a small asset, people only care realistically about the FOMO stuff, the tier 1 listings, that sort of developments. These sort of massive things, like what the KRI are doing with Kaspa, is so massive, and the video I'm making later on will delve into more information about that. But nobody's taking it into account. And the fact that these developments the KRI are making with Kaspa are coming out this year. But no one's taking into account of what they're building, or how big it's going to be for Kaspa getting into these energy sectors, into these cross-border chains, these supply chains, these real estate markets. Kaspa's tapping into multi-trillion-dollar markets all over. It's a truly unique infrastructure. This post here from Bank Quote, Kaspa's unified future, solving blockchain fragmentation with based rollups and ZK smart contracts, just goes into a very, very lengthy article, as we can see here. It's a very lengthy article. So just to summarize it, it's just talking again about Kaspa's high throughput proof of work crypto. It's a block DAG. It allows for parallel block creations and fast confirmation. I mean, that's stuff we already know, right? Stuff we already know how big Kaspa is. What the thing that sets Kaspa apart is that it's proof of work, but also its architecture is what proof of work should be. For parallel confirmations is something that nothing else in this space can truly have, at least not to the same level of Kaspa's. And 10PS is another evolution of that. The base rollups are therefore going to benefit more so with that. Kaspa's ultimate vision involves ZK smart contracts, not these EVMs we have right now. They're great for early adoption, but they're not the things that Kaspa really wants, the end game goal. ZK smart contracts are. To achieve atomic possibility across the layer 2s, they need the ZK smart contracts. And once more, I'll remind you again from a post that I've showcased numerous times on this stream, but something again that people are forgetting is something that Chris Kang, who's the Casplex co-founder, has mentioned time and time again as well, or mentioned once, but I mentioned time and time again from him, which is again the sort of adoption we're going to see following Casper's endgame with the ZK opcos that's coming out this year. Again, full adoption might take time, but you'll get early adoption with EVMs, people who will build on Casper, and then you'll see more adoption following the ZK opcos, and then you're going to see other virtual machines, other blockchains bridging on Casper as well, thanks to Casper Store and the KEF and Casplex. Existing layer 2 solutions that exist right now, they might want to give up their current schemes, their centralized sequencer schemes, because they already generate income ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a month. But with what Casper's building, with Casper having, a superior bit of infrastructure, the crescendo upgrade happening in just a few days' time will allow Casper to reach 10 BPS, meaning that it will eliminate the need for layer 2s to add more scalability or have the scalability necessary. It just needs to be able to utilize the layer 2s as a bridge element. But that's a fact of actually it. Casper is going to soon be able to tap into these markets to compete and take liquidity from other sequencers, from layer 2s, and therefore Casper as the base layer. The layer 2s are the ones who make millions of dollars a month. But Casper as the base layer is going to be able to make this money. And that's going to generate more demand for Casper as well. Again, this is not me trying to say Casper's going to reach $50,000 a cycle. Realism is obviously needed. And 50 cents is a very conservative prediction. 20 cents is a bit too conservative. But again, your predictions are your own. I'm not telling you what to predict. I'm just highlighting what's coming to Casper could generate a lot more FOMO and a lot more adoption than we realize, because we have seen in the past what other cryptocurrencies have done in such a short span of time. 3 months, the span of a year here, but that was like a 25x in a year, 25x in a year of Cardano, a 10x in 3 months for Solana, a 15x in 3 months for AVAX. You can check out Polkadot, you can check out Litecoin. Every asset has a similar sort of momentum. And of course, comparing Casper to other assets is not always fair because it's a different project, but the comparison can be made just purely for the understanding that you could have Casper do nothing up to August. FUD will be at all-time highs, and then when you least expect it, the exchanges are like, you know what, now we want to make money on Casper, let's just list the project. And FOMO comes back in, you've already sold your bags, and you've missed out. I diversify because, I see the value in making money on other assets as well. That's what I'll talk about. But it's not because I have no conviction in Casper. My biggest bet is Casper because I see Casper doing very well this cycle, and I'm going to continue holding it. Also for the possibility that this cycle does not end at the typical time of, December, November time. Maybe it goes a little bit longer. Again, we have to wait and see and play it by ear. But things are looking up for this space. Casper is in a unique position. Its architecture is second to none, and that understanding is going to come in this space this year and just keep snowballing from there as well. I'm going to answer some questions real quickly before I get to more of the Casper news as well. This here's a little bit more of just a general, not as important, but just other stuff. This one's a bit of a weird one from Shy here, although it is quite interesting as well. That again, it's worth talking about. But again, I'm still extremely bullish on Casper. Price predictions aside, what's coming out to it, we cannot fade it. But again, live when it's Champions League. Yeah, apologies for that. I forgot. Yeah, it's Arsenal versus PSG. And you know what? I saw that as well, actually, when I was just... You can see it right here. PSG versus Arsenal. Well, apologies for that. I'll make sure to, again... I need to keep more tabs on the Champions League. It's because it's Arsenal, man. I don't particularly care. My brother supports Arsenal. I don't particularly care about them myself. So I'm like, if they lose, fantastic. If they don't, whatever. But I'm not particularly care. I mean, the games are fantastic. I watched the Real Madrid game live, the last one against Arsenal, and that game was fantastic. It's a very, very good display. So I should probably watch the games. I do enjoy watching them, but I just haven't been up to date with them. Welcome back, Nessie, bro. You're doing very, very well. Sorry I'm late. Is there a Casper donation wallet yet? No, but I will get one set up in May. At this point, so many people have asked me for it, and I can see their support for me is unrivaled. And if anything, I could use the donation for other things as well to benefit people. So you know what, I figured, you know what, actually, I will set one up. I will set one up in May. I will make a promise in the first half of May. So potentially in and around the 10 BPS, maybe a little bit after that, I'll set up a donor wallet for those who do want to show my support that way, as opposed to YouTube donations. Are greatly appreciated. I'm not again saying please donate to me. I'm setting this up purely because I have had literally tens of 20s of people ask hundreds of times, set up a donor wallet for me, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it then. I'll do it. So I'll make one soon. I can promise that. Kaspa will step up to 7.5 to $1.20, and 30% drawback, then rocket to $2-3 later in the year. Clip this comment. Oh yeah, I'll clip this comment, no doubt. Everyone here, clip this comment right now. I mean, it's not a bad shout again. That'll put Kaspa between a 50 to $78 billion market cap, give or take, by the end of the cycle. And I do think we could see some significant rally for Kaspa still. What they're building is going to be game changing, and we've seen again how quickly projects can jump in just a month span. So think about it: when ZK comes out, when smart contracts come out, potentially when Dagnite comes out, it needs literally nothing more than a month for the FOMO to come in, the price to jump, leaps and bounds 5-10x in value. What Mexi did, if you're referring to Mexi Exchange, there's more, drama, if you will, on the Twitter forums about how Mexi are continuing to manipulate the price of Kaspa, which for me, Mexi does have one of the higher volumes, but Gate has significantly higher right now. So if anyone is manipulating the price of Kaspa, it's most likely going to be Gate. Although Mexi can still do a lot with basically 1/5 of the supply right now, or the volume right now at least. But we've seen a lot of proof out there that Mexi are manipulating the price of Kaspa, keeping it down. And I was just highlighting there's not really much point in complaining about it because we can't do anything about it. They're an exchange, they're out of our reach. The only thing we can do as a community is say, take your money off the exchange, off Mexi. But again, that's up to other people if they want to do it or not. Nessie brother with the €5.99 donation. Thank you very much, man. And yeah, thank you very much as well. I will, yes, for the sake of my community who would love to show support to me, I will set up that donor wallet in May, first half of May. So those who don't want to donate through YouTube, which is perfectly fine. And again, I'm not asking for donations. I appreciate every single donation I get. You guys are unbelievably insane, and I love you for that. So for those who want to donate and wear their heart on their sleeve with Kaspa, then I'll set up a donor wallet for that now. I've been asked too much now to where I feel like no longer doing it is actually almost disrespecting you guys' community. So I can't do that anymore. I will get it sorted soon enough. Thank you very much, brother. Good to see Kaspa walking upstairs as opposed to downstairs. You know what I mean? It's good to see it. We're starting to see this. Hopefully, it's going to start seeing this pattern going up, down like that. Start to rally up a bit more so. And again, remember one of the factors that I have spoke about continuously and forgotten to talk about again, which I mentioned in my last altcoin video actually. I know I'm shamelessly plugging all the videos I create on this channel, but I think they're all good content and worth watching. This last one I made here spoke about why I think Kaspa are going to do very well in May. And why we can see some more pullbacks in the short term, definitely, sure. We had a great April so far. We have some big updates coming up for May for Kaspa, but equally, because we're in a Bitcoin dominant market right now, and Bitcoin has an 80% correlation to the M2 supply, there's therefore, by that logic, a decent chance that Kaspa will also follow along quite similarly to the M2, or altcoins will follow along to the M2. I mean, look at Sui. Sui actually has a very, very good correlation to the M2. Very close, actually, to the M2. So, as we're in a Bitcoin dominant market, it means Bitcoin who follows the M2 alts will follow that similarly as well. And Sui right now had a massive rally. It might stagnate for a bit going into mid-May and then start making a push up again. You can look at something like Tau. Tau also had a similar sort of pump as well. You can see here, following the M2 as well. Again, it's not a silver bullet, golden bullet. It's not the accurate 100% indicator, but it's got a good correlation. So in that regard, therefore, if you look at Kaspa's chart here, We should hopefully start seeing, therefore, that Kaspa will start making this pullback as it is doing, and then it might start again finding some support on one of these levels down here between 8.7 to 8.7 to 8 cents, and then making a push again in May. I should hopefully be starting to see it make a push above 13 cents going towards the end of May, and then making this massive rally early June to all-time highs again, if it does follow the M2. Again, it's not a perfect indicator, but it's a good one. And with Bitcoin dominance being, again, so high, it basically means that alts follow Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin does follow quite close to the M2 as well. And we've still got a big catalyst coming up from May as well. We got on the 2nd of May, which is just 3 days from now, we're going to see the job report data coming out, which is going to be very, very, could be very bullish as well. We'll see the FOMC meeting on the 7th of May. We'll see the inflation data coming out on the 13th of May. We've got a lot of good macro news to come out as well. That'll let us know where this economy is going, where the market's going to go in the immediate short term, and what Jerome Powell wants to do as well. Now, before we get to more of the questions, welcome back again to you, Falco brother. I want to quickly go into some of the other Kaspa news real quickly here, which is this interesting thread here from Shy, which is highlighting that the last couple of weeks took a crescendo, and the quote-unquote reformed Kaspa account maintains its eerie radio silence. Now, actually, I was surprised when he said this, because I did not realize as well that Kaspa currency, the actual Kaspa account, has been deathly quiet. Now, funnily enough, as soon as Shy posted that, they did now make a post about how close we are. But look, the last one was April 25th, 4 days ago. And before that, April 22nd. It's been very, I mean, of course, sometimes it can be quite repetitive, but it's been very stagnant, like post every, 3 days or so, which is not, it's kind of surprising, it meant, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got people like us, the community, that are constantly promoting Kaspa. Speaking of it, Anthony, my brother, thank you very much for the £4.99 donation. You absolute legend. I appreciate you very, very much. Not even a message there, just wanted to give it out the love of your heart. I thank you very much, my man. And hopefully you're enjoying the content so far. Absolute legend. But yeah, I mean, the whole point I was highlighting here is that the Kaspa Twitter page is meant to be, it's meant to be kind of the first line of contact, if you will, the first line of defense for people to find out what Kaspa's about. Of course, you can find people like me, or Kaspa Silver, or other devoted content creators, or even my community, who can just talk about Kaspa as well and give our insight on Kaspa. But, Sharp ultimately just highlighting here, they've been very, very quiet, and, they should be, at least talking a lot more about this incoming upgrade, with it being so close now. You'd like to arguably see them doing a daily countdown. I should do that myself, actually. And it's ultimately just going through a back and forth right here. Even Michael Sutton says here, as a primary dev working on a crescendo milestone, I don't really see it as a big problem. They're not really talking on, I don't think the X is that important, which, I mean, again, I see the arguments for both things, right? It is an importance to the account to bring more adoption and understanding of what Kaspa's building, and just, a first line of defense for Kaspa. But again, because it's a decentralized project, there's no desire for them to do so either. There's no marketing, that sort of thing. Again, I'll put this in my community below and let people go, read through the thread themselves. Christian Lubbock's calling for maybe Rhubarb Media to take over the Kaspa page instead, which is not a bad idea. Ultimately, I mean, I'm sure you guys can see when I do my videos anyways now, I don't actually get my sources from Kaspa page anymore. That might also be a bad thing, you could argue. But I don't get my sources here from Kaspa. I get my sources from the community, and then I can correlate that back to Kaspa. I get more information from Shy and Michael Sutton than I do from Kaspa's actual page themselves. To be fair, a lot of people in the community also retweet what Kaspa's doing. So I normally will find it from like Kaspa enthusiasts who will retweet, how close we are from the Kaspa actual official page. But I don't use Kaspa that media anymore. I mean, that's something interesting. I personally did say it's a bad move, because I'd like to think that Kaspa actually, their quote-unquote official, no, it's not official, their quote-unquote Twitter page actually should be promoting or talking more about Kaspa as a whole. But I'm sure, again, these people are busy. That is just something I wanted to highlight. In other news regarding Kaspa, also quite interesting, they have the KEF been sponsoring this Muay Thai super high lightweight European fighter, and he has now just become the champion, which is, congrats to him, Giuliano and Anago. who down the champions are very, very good. That's cool. And of course, that could potentially also bring more wandering eyes to the project of KF and Kaspa, because again, he's sponsored by Kaspa. And of course, winning a championship could bring more eyes to him as well. So that's good to see all around. And we also have something else here from Zeal Swap. The Zeal pre-launch happened recently. Apparently it's completely done. What's next? Now the pre-sale is completed. 20% of Zeal sold. 30% to raise funds will now be sent to us for development and audits. 70% will bootstrap protocol liquidity and launch, and will send to us in Kaspa 10% at a time. We will use it to buy KRC20 tokens, return the KRC20s, and then receive the next 10% and so on. And 1% of that Zeal will be going to the natural community immediately for their treasury, as well as 79% immediately secured in the Tangent wallet. Everyone's welcome to debate what they feel about the pre-launch, about the token. I haven't got an opinion on it still. I'm not particularly involved in this. But as long as they're staying transparent and they're being completely truthful, then, you know, I guess they'll have my vote of confidence, is what I've got to say about that. Mexi will stop doing this when Binance and Coinbase list Kaspa. I believe that all story is orchestrated. I'll be surprised if manipulation big will last after 200 listings. Yes and no. Mexi may stop it, or in my belief, to be more accurate, the manipulation won't be focusing on Mexi. If anything, Binance are more likely to do manipulation than Mexi are. Binance have a lot of bots. So actually, out of all these exchanges, the biggest exchange for botting actually is Binance Exchange. They're the biggest exchange in the world. Now, of course, Binance Exchange would do a lot for Kaspa price in general, but there's a good possibility they'll manipulate the price of Kaspa anyways. No matter where you go, you will not be able to avoid manipulation. You just may switch from being Mexi to being Binance. But again, that is for me I'm not too concerned about it, because, you know, Kaspa as a long-term investment is still going to go up anyways, in my belief. Just as wallets buy, so many miners keep dumping Bitcoin. It is 95k and maybe Kaspa's not moving. The only actual catalyst left are the smart contracts. I hope I'm wrong. I would say you are wrong, because there are many catalysts. For Kaspa, fundamental catalysts, 10 BPS, smart contracts, stablecoins, Dagnite, the native smart contracts, the other blockchains between two Kaspa. For the macro fundamental to catalyst, money supply, money printing, rate cuts, tariffs being rescinded if that even happens, regulatory frameworks in America. You know, there's still a literal plethora of catalysts for Kaspa and crypto still to come. We're just going into May right now. Markets have been definitely heart aching, and it's been a struggle. Arguably as hard, if not harder, than last cycle. But for me, the mission, the end goal is still clear for me. I still see where we're going. Welcome back, Kaspa Key. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. Yo to you too. If the big exchanges decide that Kaspa but must be appreciated for the fundamentals that offers, then the exchanges can control the manipulation and skyrocket Kaspa. Again, if ultimately we're still at the mercy, because Kaspa is such a small market cap, again, we are at the mercy of exchanges still. We're still waiting for the adoption to come through in full force, retail and institutional wise. Once that comes through, the manipulation is going to be more so and also less so in a sense. Right now, there's a good possibility that when the exchanges are ready and they deem the time is right, they'll list Kaspa, and Kaspa will see pumps similar to Solana's, pumps similar to AVAX's, Cardano's, a massive 10, 20x. If you see a similar pump to AVAX, for example, from where it's at right now, 2 bills similar to Kaspa right now, that put Kaspa around $1.30, give or take. So you'll see a considerable pump, you know, a 10 to 15x from now. That's fantastic. And I'd like to argue again that Kaspa fundamentally wise is better than AVAX. So, also Cardano is VC backed, and the pump was fake. And remember, now we have a lot more cryptos that drain liquidity. Yeah, you're completely right, Artzo. Again, like this pump was definitely artificially backed by VCs, and again we have more cryptos now, so it's harder to get the pump. I do agree with you. But again, I do agree with the possibility that Kaspa may not pump. You know, it may be harder for Kaspa to pump, but what Kaspa's building and the fact that they are building applications that will generate them adoption, and again the KRI with institutional applications, you know, I still think while there's more cryptos to compete, and while Kaspa's not got VC backing, we're also going to see much more capital than ever seen before in our lives in crypto this cycle. For me, the cycle still has an easy 2x ahead of it. I'll still see 6 trillion in the cycle, if not higher. Analysts predict higher. I'm not going that high. I think 6 trillion is not bad. In that regard, then, Bitcoin being roughly 3.5 trill, can Kaspa only get 1% of that? Being 35 billion market cap, can it get less than that? Again, we'll have to wait and see. But I think Kaspa can still do extremely well the cycle. We'll have to wait and see, of course. We're still early to call that. But for me, I'm going to be, again, playing reactionary to the market. And again, if Kaspa doesn't soar up too high, it's also been talk now from institutional analysts and whatnot that the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin's ending, and therefore we're not going to see a typical bull to bear. And we just start continuing, or more or less going up from here. In that case, then I don't want to sell too much. I'm going to sell everything end of the cycle besides Kaspa. Or some, not all my Kaspa at least. The power law does not apply to Kaspa because it's still in a test net, so I heard would make sense. I did see a post in my community earlier regarding Plan K and about the power law. The video stated that video stated that the power, it said we need to talk about the Kaspa power law, and I'm guessing effectively how it's not broken. I need to watch it myself to fully understand what was being talked about there. But if that is the case, then arguably, yes, that would make sense. I mean, think about it, Kaspa's not caught 10 BPS yet. So in that regard, Kaspa is still early. It's only 3 years into its cycle. 3 years in. Do you know how many people were calling Solana and Cardano and, again, different cycle, different catalysts, what to speak of? All these projects were called dead because they did nothing for ages and then they blew off. You know? It's worse as well because in this scenario in the last cycle, you had these assets pumping into here, and then you saw the double top because that's when the FTX crash happened and COVID and that stuff. So it came down, and then when the double top happened, it started running up again. Then the alts rallied with it massively, and then altcoin cycle took off as well. This here are alts following Bitcoin, and then this here is altcoin cycle taking off. Following Bitcoin, alt cycle. Following Bitcoin, alt cycle. So Kaspa again is going to follow along with Bitcoin. That alone can send it up massively higher. And then have its own alt cycle, and then maybe it's even own cycle from there. You know, Kaspa is constantly being manipulated by MEXC. That is not helping the price action, but it is great for the Kaspa accumulators. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's still great, still fantastic. I got no notification. I don't know why, man. YouTube's very weird by that. Sometimes it should give you one. What I do know is if I have been posting more than 3 things a day, so if I make like 3 videos a day or a live stream with 2 videos a day, then it can be funny about notifications, but otherwise I don't see why it does that sometimes. It should be consistent. So sorry very much about that, Kryptonate. How much Kaspa before the 5th of May in order to buy a Lambo on the 6th? Well, I'm not expecting a boom in price for Kaspa on the 5th of May, so you have to probably buy a lot more than $1 million. Because right now we're only at 9 cents. If you had 10 million, you'd have $1 million. Now how much to buy a Lambo? Again, Lambo is very in price. I know you're kind of joking anyways, but I think I'm expecting to see Kaspa start to continue consolidating or correcting in value for the next few days, and then we'll start seeing FOMO come in, and then you'll see the rebound somewhere around here. I'm hoping, at least. Again, it could go lower. I'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping it's around there. I have something to show you, but you have to sign an NDA through Discord. Lol. I will, brother. I will if you want to. I'm definitely interested to see what it's about, but yeah, I'll sign an NDA through Discord if you want to. What's up, Half-Life Man? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel once again. Exchanges wouldn't collaborate to hold a price for entry unless the project innovation is generational. They purposely broke the power law and cause of Wyckoff distribution. I mean, I do think Kaspa again is completely is innovation, is second to none. And I think there are people who do realise the importance of that and are trying to capitalise on the earliness of Kaspa. So there's definitely logic in what you're saying as well. Just use my wallet, donation wallet. I'm here to help. Oh, yes, you are, Mr. Martin. You most definitely are. Tens of 20s, that's a lot. I mean, for this community, like we get on this, and massive thank you to everyone here. I get, on average, I think about 70 people, 80 people in these live streams. And that's when I normally get asked about a donation wallet in the live streams. I've had at least 10 to 20 people ask me about it, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, if not, I know I've been asked over 100 times at least from people who ask me continuously. And I thank you all for it constantly. So yeah, I think it's about time I do set one up. Look at the MEXC spoofing and manipulation and tell me what chance Kappa has not to die. Mexi has killed the project. I disagree. Because there's still enough people holding it. You're seeing enough people holding the project that is not dying. Like look at the inactive supply. Which I need to find here. Look at the inactive supply. People are holding it for the last 3 months. It's still going up. 6 months, still going up. 1 year, going up. Everyone's still holding it. It's going up. Mexi is definitely causing the project to struggle in PA, definitely, but it's not killed the project. You know, the project has barely started. It's barely started. The problem is, and that's the biggest problem, is that everybody's still living off the euphoria of Kaspa when it pumped from 5 to 15 cents and then 20 cents. People are still living in this euphoria, and therefore, when Kaspa's acting as it should be doing right now, they're just calling the project dead. There's no significant reason right now for Kaspa to pump. You've got big catalysts coming out, sure, but that's just FOMO. It's not come out yet. We're going in from a FOMO to a hype-driven cycle. Assets with real utility are going to be able to do well. There's nothing that Kaspa has particularly right here and now that's going to generate a price pump. In the next few months and weeks, yes. Few days, yes. Mexi's not killed Kaspa though. It's definitely hurt the project, but it's not killed it. Yeah, it's not going anywhere in regardless of inflation. I agree as well. Miles, this may run until next year. It all depends on Q and M2. I mean, yeah, there's a possibility this run, goes on for quite some time. We're going to have to wait and see and play it by ear, Play reaction to the market, as we always say here. Well, that's a lot of questions. I won't be able to get through all of them today. No way. Are we moon yet? Not yet, Wing Hong, bro. Not yet. They will realize you will see we all went through that phase in our first bull markets. Most of us got burned, learned a lesson, and became fundamentalists. Yeah. I mean, even now, I still do dabble on the other elements of the market still. Still worth covering. But for the most part, yes. People will start to realize the actual importance of good fundamentals, and also that in the market we're going into right now, the last few markets have been hype driven. Even earlier this cycle, you had the AI agent bubble, the meme bubble. Now it's going into utility bubble. Real world assets are gaining more adoption. XRP, XLM, Hedera, Algorand, they're getting more adoption. Fundamentals will do very, very well. Tau will go up. Kaspa will go up. Plan K come back to live. J uploads Kaspa fell at the same day. Lol. I mean, I did actually see someone in my community mention that Jerry Banfield made a video a while back about Kaspa going to zero, and apparently deleted it, which is interesting. I mean, again, I refuse to comment to spread any form of opinionated point on, the YouTubers. I mean, I do like. I won't say anything on Jerry because I don't know him that well. I don't know his content that well. I know he's a massive ICP KOL, if you will. And he doesn't like Kaspa, which is, again, you haven't got to like Kaspa. I just hope that if you don't like it, you've got a reason for it besides just bad price action, because that's the reason for it. Then I think it's quite a narrow mindset. But Plan K, he's had some incredible series on Kaspa. He's a very, knowledgeable individual, so I do respect his content massively. And I'm definitely going to watch that video later. But adoption is definitely coming for Kaspa as well. I do believe so as well. I can't see how Kaspa doesn't hit similar prices to Solana by the next bull run, or similar to now in this next cycle, being that Kaspa offers the same main reasons to use Solana, but better with a fixed amount of coins. And yeah, I mean, I can see the sentiment behind that, but again, Solana has some form of VC backing, and also it was in a cycle where there weren't as many cryptos out there, so it had less competition, if you will. As a fundamental, Kaspa is second to none in the space, but we need to see the adoption come through. I think the adoption is going to come through. Again, we've got confirmation that the Kasplex and Kaspa team and the members who are working on Kaspa or working with Kaspa are working to bridge to other blockchains as well. So, and we're seeing again USDC Circle and USDC. Where is it? Yeah, these stablecoins are coming to Kaspa very soon as well. Like, We mentioned this video earlier, how they're getting more excited. Like, we're still extremely fortunate, extremely early to see the stuff coming on Kaspa soon. And it'll happen. Kaspa's in a good position still. It's just early, and there's nothing wrong with being early. Better be early than being late, you know. Da Vinci, yes. What's up, DD bro? You're doing very, very well. Da Vinci, yes, Kaspa can be a good investment for the future. No, now's not the right time to buy future. I mean, yeah, I mentioned that in my video yesterday as well. You know, how Da Vinci basically just stated that, you know, he was an avid Kaspa hater. He hated Kaspa. And now he's like, Kaspa's going to be good in the future, but we may not do well the cycle. And while, again, that's a sentiment that everybody agrees with in Kaspa, but I actually think it will do well the cycle, because people are disregarding what's actually being developed the cycle and how it's going to generate adoption. They're building the applications already for it. So you're going to see volume coming to Kaspa. And then, again, we still haven't got tier 1s. Tier 1s can be the biggest catalyst that actually, just for the price action-wise, tier 1s can still be the big catalyst to send Kaspa 5x in value overnight. We're still, with 2 billion market cap, we are still so early. Coinbase claims they don't manipulate the price of the crypto they hold. Well, they do. Everyone does. You know? They can claim it all they want. It's quite evident they do. I mean, Coinbase don't let you sell. If you've got over $2,000 on Coinbase, they don't let you take it all out. They'll flag your account. So, you know, is what it is, right? I don't think you guys realize how promising Kaspa's moon for the next cycle leaves a bad taste in retail's mouth. Who knows what will happen next cycle and what tech's going to make Kaspa obsolete. I mean, there's always going to be something coming out to try and claim to be the next Kaspa. Ultimately, it's still very, very early, so there's no concern for me right now that this is going to be a threat to Kaspa. Right now, I don't think Kaspa's got any competition realistically. There are other competition like proof of stakes, which I think are going to come and go very quickly. Kaspa's going to overtake them in due time. Not this cycle, but in due time, definitely. But Kaspa's going to do well this cycle still for me. And again, I'm holding it because I see the future in it, and I'm holding the other assets again because I see their benefits for making money. But again, I'm making a video. I'll be uploading it later today, and that video will go into a lot more depth on something very big that not people know about, that Kaspa's going to be taken advantage of as well, likely. And it's also going to hopefully do a lot for the cycle as well. But with that being said, if I missed your question, I apologize. But if you remember your question, ask tomorrow stream, and I'll make sure to get round to it. But with that being said, I'm going to have to cut today's stream. I say short, it's still been over an hour, but because I offer right here. If you enjoyed, as always, feel free to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. If you want to know about more than crypto, check out the free community here. Talk about crypto and Kaspa in there, and other information there, like macro news, how to understand the markets and whatnot, and equally even more in-depth insight in the VIP group here as well, from educational videos to trade alerts to alpha information to weekly live streams. We have a lot more going on in there as well. If you want to find out more, again, link down below in the description, homepage as well. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. Mr. Miles is the Joker. Don't listen to him. And I'll